building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I am Alex Edmonds. People on the internet call me SupremeRumHam, and this is the Building an Indie Business podcast recorded in the Indie Business Studio. Okay, so today I will be talking about consulting and how I'm going to start consulting, right? So I'm going to talk about what kind of consulting I'm going to be doing, how much I'm going to be charging, why, my setup, my tech setup. I have a bunch of restrictions, right? So I'm going to be talking about those and why I do those, and then what I still need to do. I have no idea if this is going to be a short episode or not. I have no idea ever, to be honest. Like the e-commerce episode, that was supposed to be like 20 minutes and it ended up being 40, which is the longest episode that I've recorded, right? So, recorded alone, right? So, we'll see. I think it's going to be short. I don't know. Okay. Consulting. So, I'm going to start taking consulting clients, right? So, I'm going to try consulting with podcasting, writing, and revenue. So, what does that mean? So for podcasting, I imagine that would be helping people set up their podcast, right? Maybe like you show them how to use Caproni, show them how to put it on Apple Podcasts, things like that. Show them how to record, or I can help them write a podcast episode, show them how I write my podcast episode, and that will help them improve their content right away, right? So that's another option. And then there's also writing. Since I wrote a book, I can edit their writing. I can show them my editing process. Because again, if you pay me, I don't mind sharing my secrets. So, even though I do it on this podcast, but there was a podcast there was an episode of Basic Brown Nerds that I listened to, and I'll link it in the show notes with Kat of Growth Hackers and Growth Hacks HAXX.com. And so what he said is the what and the why are free, the how you pay for. So what that means is that you say what you do. I'm a writer. How do you do it? You know the what you do. So I'm a writer. The why I do it. I write about finance and podcasting, and the how you do it. So that would be the editing, the writing process. That's paid. Right. So that would be, that would be my writing consulting. And then revenue. So I study a lot of revenue sources and how companies generate revenue. So if you're struggling to generate revenue for your business, your side project, whatever, come speak with me for an hour, right? And I will help you out. It's really funny. There was a startup that I was working for like a week until I realized that they were never going to generate any revenue. And so I quit. I feel like I should send the CEO a link, because he would try to pressure me because he wasn't making any money, right? And I was like, stop trying to pressure me, like, not my company, not my problem, right? So I just stopped working there because he yelled at me, right? Because I was writing. The three of us were working on a document together. And then apparently there's a shortcut for taking screenshots, and I took a screenshot, and then it was in my copy and paste thing, so I I copy and pasted that screenshot into the document by accident, and he started like yelling at me like, "Oh, we don't have time for this. We have to work," and blah blah blah, all this other stuff. And he yelled at me for longer than it took me to fix that error, right? And I just thought like, dude, you're not paying me enough to yell at me like that, and I don't need this. So I didn't even technically quit. I just stopped showing up. And then he eventually like removed me from the Slack group, right? Yeah. That wasn't a real job, so that's why I acted like that. But if you pay me enough, then you can yell at me all you want, right? You pay me $100,000 a year, yell at me all you want for my errors, right? And if I have a problem with it, A, I'll tell you, and B, I won't just stop showing up, right? So yeah. So what am I charging after that huge whole thing, right? So what am I charging? I'm charging $50 for 1 hour. I will set up your podcast. I will write or edit your content. I will tell you how exactly you can generate revenue. I will give you examples from my previous writing, right? So yeah, $50 gets you an hour with me. So why $50? I don't know. I'm just testing the water. I like that number. I don't know. It's yeah. Yeah. And what I like about consulting is, yeah, I'm directly providing value for someone and I can see the value, right? If I'm editing someone's writing and making it more SEO friendly and that helps them rank higher, I can see that, right? I can see that. I'm giving them exactly what they need, so that way I'm providing value, it's just an issue I have with podcasting, where I don't know if I'm providing value through my experience, mostly because like I get like 50 downloads as of May 2021. I get like 50 downloads an episode, right? But I only talk to like 5 listeners. So I don't know if I'm helping or I'm hurting or, I'm just yelling into the void, right? I don't know. Okay. So my tech setup. How is this all happening? Okay. So I'm using Stripe Checkout. So I made a product on Stripe Checkout. And then I use the success page. So once you pay me on Stripe Checkout, it'll send you the success page. And the success page has a link to my Calendly, my entire calendar. Not my entire calendar, because I have every episode that I'm going to record on my calendar just for my brain, right? So, yeah, it has a link to my calendar, all my appointments that I have booked, and someone who has sees that page, they can book me from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 7 days in advance, right? And then once you book that, some questions will pop up, and the question, I think it's just one question. It's, why are you booking this? And the options that you have are revenue, podcasting, or writing. I don't know why I forgot this. And then it gives me their email, so I'm able to email that person after to get more details. And that way I can get more information, right? So why all the restrictions? Why only 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.? So I have trouble sleeping. I haven't talked about this on the podcast, I don't think, but I have a habit of waking up at 4 a.m. and then like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. around there, and then I have trouble going back to bed right away. And so I usually am able to fall asleep at 6 a.m. when I used to wake up. Yes. Yeah. So I can't guarantee I'm going to be up and ready for a meeting before 10 a.m. because sometimes I wake up around 8 a.m. and then I have to eat. I have to wake up, eat, prepare, have my notes ready to go. And so 10 a.m. I can guarantee you I'm ready for a meeting, but anytime before that, no. So I'm giving you 100% at 10 a.m. And then why 2 p.m.? Because after 2 p.m. I'm pretty much useless. I have my hardcore stuff planned out for before 2 p.m. And then after 2 p.m. I'm still working or doing stuff, right? But I schedule what I call mindless things, which are things that I don't have to put much thought into, like uploading this podcast, or copying and pasting something. That's when I usually schedule that. So I already know what I'm going to say in the show notes, so I don't need to focus on that too much. Or I'll write the show notes after I record, but then I upload the rest of the podcast after 2 p.m. Okay, yeah. And then sometimes I have to copy and paste a lot of things, right? Oh yeah, so like my podcast workflow, it's pretty much after I write the show notes, it's copy and paste, because I create the page, and then I just copy and paste everything into into everywhere else, right? So 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm at the top of my game, right? And then 7 days in advance, it gives me time to prepare. Mentally, I'm yeah, I have a meeting at 11. I have to prepare for that, right? I have to change my work schedule around. I have to make sure I don't schedule anything else that's not going to be scheduled on a calendar, right? So make sure I don't have any doctor's appointments at that time, right? So I'm preparing, and I can't do that. I can't prepare if you schedule me 3 days in advance, right? So what I want to do is I want to prepare before the event. So if you say you want to do a podcasting session with me, I'm gonna have my notes ready for writing the episode, creating the content, recording, how to record. I'm gonna talk about my gear, so I'm gonna have all that listed, and then I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna have notes for uploading a podcast and putting it on Apple Podcasts, right? So I'm gonna have all three of those ready, unless I talk to you and you say I just want help with setting up a podcast. Then I'm gonna have those notes out ready to go, so that when we meet up, I'm not wasting time, right? Okay. And then so what do I still need to do? First of all, I need a better setup, just in general, because Calendly's a little weird. So if you look at the success page right now, you have to click on there's different schedules set up, and so you have to click on the right one if you have multiple schedules, right? So there's something else I can do to fix that, right? And then I need to find clients, right? Because this whole thing doesn't work if no one's paying me or no one's scheduling with me. So I need to do that. So it'll be in the show notes if you want to schedule a session with me. So yeah, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.